Aye, that's us out again. In the Cardiff area today. Been visiting my sisters, so thought we'd just do a bit of a local hammock camp up in the hills of Glencarnoch. Stopped on the way at a place called Comerdun. It's on the Affric Kintail Way, not too far into the walk section just after Carnoch. I'm out with my brother today. You'll see him there. Say hi, Alistair.
Aye.
Aye, aye. So, like I say, we're at Comerdun at the moment. It was known as Craignafannig Castle, which is Rock of the Crow or Hill of the Crow or something along those lines. Craignafannig, but it's now known as Comerdun. It was excavated by the archaeology dudes. I think it was 2013, 2014. It's basically an Iron Age settlement, fortified settlement. But I'll put some details on the screen now. You can pause that and have a wee read, and I'll also put some information in the description. We walked sort of past this on the Affric Kintail last summer, so thought I'd pop in on the way up to where we're going to be hammocking tonight, just so you could have a wee look at it. But anyway, I'll leave you some drone footage that I've just shot, and we'll start making our way towards where we're aiming for tonight for a bit of a hammock camp. Reached where we're going to turn off the main road, give you a wee spin around, just heading down, aiming for an old bridge across the River Carnoch here. I'll put a grid reference up on the screen as to where you turn off if you want to come and find this spot, but aye, I'll speak to you once I'm over at the bridge. Right, so this is the bridge over the river, the rickety old thing. Well, I'll give you a wee look. That's the River Carnoch. A few good swimming pools here on the river, but there's a bit of a waterfall down there. That's the bridge there we've just walked up from. There's Alistair, and down there about I don't know, 20-foot drop is the waterfall. Can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I'll put it up on the screen now. Awful bonny. So that's us got across the river. Now we've got to make our way along to where we're going to head directly up the hill. I should give you a quick look at the waterfall. It's just up from there that the bridge is that we crossed. We just got to head along this sort of area here, and then we're going to cut up to the left. Well, we've followed the river for a bit, and according to the map, I'll flash it up on the screen now, we're going to start heading uphill. It's quite steep towards where we're aiming for. But I'll show you on the map. It's a group of houses, but I'll tell you a bit more about it later on. So just going to battle towards these trees now and then up the hill. It's different terrain here. It's been quite steep. It's kind of levelled off-ish a bit, not level, far from level, but not as steep. A few broken branches and fallen down trees to negotiate. Oh, but we're getting there. That's us reached the boundary wall of the settlement. Still a bit to go yet. Oh, up here. But speak to you again when we're up at the houses. That's us made it up to the houses now. I think you can see them behind me there. There's a lot more to see, but I'll show you them later on. But I'll give you a quick swing around and just show you where we're going to be putting the hammocks up. Just round about this area here. We're all set up with the hammocks now. Everything's locked and loaded. I'll show you a bit of the setups. I'll show you mine, it's a wee bit closer. So there we go. We've got the DD tarp, 3x3 on this one. I think Alistair's got the 3.5x3.5. Tree huggers onto the carabiner, onto whoopee slings. Now we're going to have a wee look inside. Sorry about the filming, just got to climb over a wee wall here. I'm actually inside the house. I think Alistair was telling you that earlier on, maybe not, but you can see onto that tree there, down through, and the same at the other side. Big carabiner onto tree huggers. Got the bungee running down to pull up the bug net, and we've got the underblanket, DD underblanket, multicam, on with bungees onto the hammock itself. And there we have it. Chilling out now. We've already had our first beer, which is pretty good. We're getting on to, what time is it now? Let's have a wee look. It's 10 to 6. 10 to 6. So yeah, so I don't know if we've said, I'll maybe pop it up on the map. If not, I'll just give you a grid reference. But on a south facing slope in Glencarnock, maybe 2.5 miles from Carnock itself, to a bit of a abandoned settlement, or a settlement from back in the 19th century and maybe before. But some of the houses are in fairly good nick, and I'll spin you around and show you one of them now and you'll see what I mean. Really, really tight, really well made. And if Alistair walks up there, you can see the height of this this wall. So here's inside the house I was just showing you, with the taller wall. I mean, most of it's tumbled down now, but there's a fair bit of it still intact. They will be taking the trees out here at some point. I hope they don't ruin everything. Be a bit careful, but you're seeing things like that's got to be a lintel or something down there. Just look at the workmanship that's gone in there, and you can imagine the actual graft that's gone into building these. Superb. Well, that's us sort of chilling out now under the tarp. You can see Alistair's hammock there behind me. We're just having a couple of beers, cracking on. We've had some dinner, the usual noodles, beef jerky, etc. So the weather's been good. There's not been much rain at all. There was a wee shower maybe around about 5 o'clock, but you know, with the denseness of the trees and the tarps, it didn't bother us at all. But yeah, we've been meaning to come and do a hammock camp up here for a long time now. I think I was up with Alistair here maybe 10-15 years ago, something like that. We just came up for a wander, and we always thought, you know, it's a cool spot, cool place to do a bit of hammock camping. But yeah, so it's a bit of a almost like a little village, I would say. It's there are reports of it being used for shieling, but there's too many buildings here for a shieling, I would say. What do you reckon yourself, Alistair?
Well, I would call it a terrace of housing, old housing, all in a line, and very, very similar to houses or the foundations of houses that I saw when I was on St Kilda. So to me, it's not shielings, it's a hamlet.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've counted, I think, what was it, 9? 9
houses.
9 houses in just this little area. And there's a second area that we're going to go and walk across to tomorrow. I mean, it's not far from here at all. It's maybe a quarter of a mile, if that. So we're all sorted out in the hammocks, and we're going to have quite a cosy evening, as you'd imagine. But we were wondering, you know, how old these are. And I think you've spotted them on old maps, Alistair?
Yeah, the first edition Ordnance Survey maps, they were down as unroofed buildings. So we know that was the mid to the late 1800s. But we know that earlier than this, so since then, obviously, we've been doing a lot of research. Being locals, we know that this area was subject to clearances. In fact, it happened in the Strathglass and the Glencarnock here. It was 1801. And looking at research, we know that there was 800 people in 1801 moved to Pictou in Nova Scotia, Canada, from Strathglass, from here. The following year, there were 500 left this area, and in 1803, there was 150 people from Strathglass, from Glencarnock here, moved to Pictou. But unusual, where they'd sailed from was Fort William, or from near Allapole, but the place was called
Martin's Isle or something like that.
Martin Isle, which is just north of Allapole. And we know also that there was various ships that left here. The famous one obviously was the Hector when it went to Canada, but one of the first ships that left here was called the Sarah, and they landed, as I said, in Pictou in Canada. And to this day there's settlements, towns, villages in Canada named after localities near here.
I had spotted one near Pictou, Antigonish. There's a Strathglass Road, for example. But yeah, interesting stuff, and I'm sure we'll speak more about it tomorrow. But I'm gonna crack on, have a bit more beer. Good morning from the hammock. Slept absolutely fine, no problem at all. Always sleep well in a hammock. So I'm going to get up and get a coffee. Yeah, what time is it now? I think it's super late. Yeah, it's 9:15, so I don't usually sleep that late when I'm camping, but yeah, let's say super comfy. Okay, so this is pretty much packed up. We're going to be heading for the other set of houses that's just maybe a quarter of a mile along. You can see this is where where my hammock was. Everything's cleared away, packed away in the bag, leave no trace as always. There's Alistair's bag, and he was up between those sort of two trees he's standing between there. So we've got about a quarter of a mile to walk in that direction till we come across some more buildings. That's just making a climb out of the village we stayed at last night, and we've come across another house that's not marked on the map. It's in quite a good position, this one. It's right next to a barn. You can see the workmanship on the end there. This must have been a door. Aye, brilliant. Right, we're bashing on. We've actually come up to the top side, the top end of the forestry plantation. You can see onto the hillside now. So that's kind of what the hillside would have looked like back in the day when there's people living in these houses. No plantation, and they were doing a commanding view right onto Strathglass, but as you can see, you cannot see very much at the moment. These will be felled at some point. I think these trees are about 80 to 100 years old, there or thereabouts. But anyway, we're going to crack on and see if we can't get to the next lot of houses. That's taken a bit of bashing along a fair bit of boggy hillside through some birchwood, but we're on to the second place now. You should be able to make out a bit of a wall there, and then into the trees. Maybe it's a bit dark there. Is the next bit of houses. We'll walk along this wall. Yeah, these are the problems we've been encountering. It's these sort of fallen down trees. They're hard to get by. This one isn't so bad. He says, you should be able to make out the buildings there now. There we are. Aye, there we are. You can see it's fairly sizable.
10 or 11.
And here's likely the last house we'll see today. It's fairly tumbled down. A few trees growing in it, but still there. Identifiable. There's the wall. You can see the shape of the building there, the gable end. So yeah, we've left sort of like the woods now. We got to this fence. We're just going to follow the fence line along, contouring the hill till we get a path which will take us all the way down in the direction of Cannock. Aye, so that's us at the gate now. We'll just pick up a track and head back down into Strathglass. Aye, so we're just following this hill track now. We're going to be heading back into some woods, but not rough woods like we've been through. But it's a beautiful walk. See the native pine growing on the hill there. We're just following this sort of Argo track downhill. So yeah, we're on a good track now. Easy going. Been a cracking wee hammock camp. Enjoyed staying at the old houses. It was really interesting to see, you know, what was there, what's left of it, and thinking about, you know, what had gone on in the past. But gonna leave this video here. If you've watched this far, thanks very much for watching. I'll hopefully be out again before too long, and I'm sure when I do, I'll bring you along. Anyway, it's goodbye from me. It's goodbye from him. Right, take care. Look after each other.